Yeah. Ah, seems like it's working. G'day. Yeah, everything's working. Let's get straight into Dream's Ending. Why'd I go down? Where is it? Here it is. The tale of a great fixer who once reached for the dream. Suppress the dungeon. Oh, okay. Is there anyone I want to change? G'day, Dan. Nah, that's fine. I'll go with these guys. Wait, uptie, spread, current level. Huh. All these guys. Can I level up any of their egos? Nope. Oh. I don't think I... Wait, I can bring supports. Huh. I thought it was one of the ones where I couldn't bring supports. Yet again, Aegis, fixer of the Way Association, refuses to let this destroy his spirit and sail once again to the great sea in a mere raft. My dearest compatriots, this trial is but a stepping stone that will bring us to greater heights. One day we shall proudly engrave today's suffering upon our shields to remember it in better days. Huh. An interesting room. And man, does she look dirty. Thus this battle is far from over. Find thy courage and charge. Then they looked at one another in the eye, their determination forged in flames. Oh, what a line. Okay. Yet this score of enemies already waited for them in an ambush, for the shores loosened thousands of arrows upon them, the sheer quantity eclipsing the very sun. The arrows rained down their fury upon our heroes, yet they stood their ground in their ironclad shields. Yet there is no shield sturdy enough to withstand such unending onslaught. Even their iron shields began to crack. And as the shields cracked, the metal fortitude of his men began to splinter as well, and many were seen slowly backing away from the battle. Nay, we shan't ever give up. I shall be the shield and warn my men indeed. Our iron shields are but tools that may break and splinter, but upon the moment I shall be the shield by which thou shalt be protected from our foes' arrows. What is even going on? The arrows may break my body, but they shall never pierce my righteous heart of justice. Row, row, leave me and push on, men. No matter what trial may stand in our path, we shan't ever give up.
오늘 모험도
I
참으로
am
박진감 넘치고 가슴이 뜨거워지는 이야기였군.
I am confused. What the hell is going on? Okay. The adventure of today, we just as exhilarating as it ever was. It has set fire to the passion in mine heart. Dear, the most valiant fixer of this your way.
이번이 131번째 역사라오.
How farest thee? 'Tis my 131st letter. Yeah. How's she even alive if she didn't eat? I mean, sure she's a vampire, but still.
하지만 본인의 정열적인
Frizzy,
마음을
excuse my
전하기
persistence.
어쩔 수가
'Tis
없었군.
merely that my passion cannot be well doused.
본인도 곧 해결사가 될 몸이요.
I am soon to be a fixer myself,
그대의 가르침에 따라
and with thy teachings I shall become a fixer most just and persistent who both not know surrender. Forget not, O Forge not, O Don Quixote, fixer of the future. Yeah, she is insane. Pursue the foremost. I thought that was her tongue for a second. Virtue of the fixer must be and always be the righteous justice. Thou mustn't turn away from the needy, and thou must always put their entire being into helping them.
물론 잘 알고 있어.
I am very well aware of that myself.
내일은 트레스와
Mine
모험을
adventure
떠날
on
예정인데
the Marrow shall be alongside the Tress Association. The Tress Association, very well, a relatively fledgling yet quite prolific association.
그리고 그걸 만드는 공방을 관리한다지.
Yeah. Indeed. It is said that they specialize in tools and arms for the city's dwellers and its fixers, as well as workshops that fabricate and maintain them. Indeed, the associations are established in the order of need for the city. Then I must bid thee farewell until next time our next adventure shall be. The adventure at the Levin Western of the ruins in which the heart of a beast bird was pierced. I look forward to hearing thine exploits. For so this adventure shall be, as all has been thus far, a glorious victory. How the hell are her shoes bending like that?
나가지 않는 것을 제안해.
I recommend you stay put inside.
이 바깥에는
There is no way to tell what awaits you past that door.
동의한다네.
I am in agreement.
누구인지도 모를 자에게
Recall the tale of the Red Hood who met an end most unfortunate from the simple folly of welcoming in a stranger.
하지만
Yet this knocking upon my gates
본인을 찾는 자가
must mean that a soul seeketh mine assistance. Wouldn't thou not agree? I believe I've afforded you sufficient restraint. The build of this place is quite durable, my lady. It should be able to withstand assaults from any pursuing blood fiends. No, even blood fiend hunters. It is an entirely different question if they can make it this far down the ruin, of course. Whoever art thou?
누구인가?
I am your guide, the one who will guide your path in your real adventure. Please, call me Virgilius. My old friend has told me that you are a second kindred.
이건
Second kindred? What art thou referring to? And my fellow fixers here have warned me that I mustn't leave the confines of this chamber. Do my eyes not remind you of anything?
너무
Chrissy, do not glare at me with such terrifying gaze.
그리고
And there remain still 1,780 adventures of mine to embark upon. On the merit I shall depart alongside the Tress Association, and the day after that with the Han Association, and the fixers on those posters, they're all for at least several decades ago. It is as my fellow has told me, so much of her slumbers, even her instinctive craving for blood. Your adventures with them are unimportant, and you won't have to listen to these fixers anymore because, fun fact, there are a series of Vigilius eyes from a high-rank blood fiend. Okay. I just thought there were prosthetics. Doesn't an adventure guided by me, a fixer bestowed with the title of a color, sound much better than any of that? Thou art a color? I have heard mention of such a thing from the magazines, that it is a title and honor given only to the finest fixers. I have heard tell that only a very, very few fixers have been granted such extolment from its hath been a brief moment since such honor was established. I see that you wish to put every little bit of your past to sleep, even that smell of blood. I will respect your decision and treat you accordingly. Yes, I am the guide who will bring you all to the right path. You must come with me, for this journey demands your company. In return, when the time is right, the promised timepiece shall come to be by your side. Promised? Yes, you are bound by a promise, yet as I am. So, remember these eyes. Remind yourself time and again, every time you look into these eyes, that hold the blood of a generation higher than your own. Okay, yeah, I kind of think he just said that those eyes belong to a higher blood fiend. Eyes that hold the blood of a generation higher than your own. That's a giveaway. How the hell did he get a blood fiend's eyes? I have nary clue as to whether it is that. I speak as a promise that will one day return to you when the time is right. Remember it, so that the unforgettable promise will one day return to you, so that you may keep it when the time comes, even as it eludes you now. That is the condition of your adventure. If you are willing to accept these terms, then speak your name to me. True. But wasn't he a fixer for a long time? Or like a colored fixer before the book? Don Quixote. Thou mayest know me as Don Quixote. No, that is not my name. Indeed, Sancho. For all the passion you joined the adventure with, you were nothing but a pretender with a borrowed name. There was but a singular path in your adventure, the path laid by his teachings. Sancho, I have conceived an idea most ingenious. Please don't. I intend to take part in the Blood Fiend War. You don't mean... Indeed, I shall stand with the humans. Not everyone is going to like your ingenious idea. Odd. You sound rather unsurprised by my suggestion. Did you know that I would suggest as such? I had a feeling that you'd be saying something like that soon. Of course, the other elders will come to lecture me or try to convince me otherwise. Sancho, expect many guests thus. Yes, I will prepare cookies baked with cinnamon. The venerated elder of B Corp can't seem to stop coughing upon ingesting one of those. It's very long, but Leviathan starts when Virgilius was still working as Victor and... Okay. Also, it does appear that there are blood fiends in the head. I had intended to suggest that you inform all of them of my absence and lock up the castle gates. Yet I find your suggestion more enticing. However, what truly concerns me is that the resistance from your children. You needn't worry then. They are my family. I am certain they will understand. That brings me to a question, however, Sancho. How is it that you are still without kindreds of your own? Yeah. Although, you know, it kind of makes sense for there to be a blood fiend in B Corp, to be honest. The organization responsible for creating the Beholders. I don't know why, it just seems strangely fitting. I enjoy solitude. I wish to live the rest of my life looking forward and only forward. I would rather not have anyone tag along behind me. Speak to me again should that change. It will not, but I will. This war will be a long and difficult one. Difficult because we will have to slay our own kind. Indeed it shall be. Yet if we may break their fangs only by breaking their skulls, then it should be a war worth fighting for. Now that we are discussing this particular subject, Sancho, should the war end well in my victory, obviously? Sure. Anyway, should the war end, I intend to build a place in which everyone may be happy. Happy? Also, what is that thing on Don's shoulder? What is that expression on your face? It has been eons since that word left my lips. Did you recall the place, this amusement park she spoke of? The place where people scream and shudder not from fear but from joy. That is the kind of place I intend to build. I still don't quite understand how one screams from joy. In that land, Sancho, there won't be any wearisome battles to fight, no constant fear of getting devoured. There shall be only laughter. Thus I was not a part of your family. I suppose I had once looked forward to the realization of his ambitions as an observer, of course. I need to quickly go grab a dog that just left my room. What did she go? Stay on the bed. Good girl, Chloe. I think her shoulder might be hurt by the W Corp train even. Okay. That's yeah. Well, it would make sense for it to be made out of their blood. In this binary world which has availed us with only two choices, to slaughter humans or to hide underground like rats, he alone was the dreamer who conceived a third option. Yet, that was no laughter I saw there. They were wailing so intensely that it had long turned into something that only resembled laughter. Let us out of here. I'll crush our heads. No, you won't be leaving this place. You won't find death either. Many guests will be lining up to pay a visit to La Mancheland soon. You recall your mission, yes? Though it has been 200 years, I don't suppose you had a moment going by without remembering them. Humans, where again? It's a festival. The festival's not over. Can people change? I had once thought they could. A long, painful battle lies ahead of us. The blood fiends that will hate and despise us will be countless. Their hatred will be inconceivable. They will call us traitors to our own kind. They will claim that our nature cannot change, that our existence is destined to prey upon humans, something they accept as an immutable truth. We'll be forced to sever our bonds with whom we had shared our suffering for centuries, those who feel the very same disease that ails us. Our only kindred spirits in this hot, lonely world. Thus now is your final chance. If you do not wish to participate, if you refuse, then I will not stop you. I refuse. Has she gone mad? Wait, really? I know you won't let me go anyway. Just as a child cannot stop being an offspring of their parent even if they wish they were. On that day when the machine purge took place, I was already a dead man. The will of the Father is the will of my own. I haven't had the chance to sharpen my scissors as of late. I'll enjoy this. Very well, what of you, dear Delucany? Do as you will. I am very glad to have my children stand by my side. Worry not, for I am the strongest there is, as you may also be aware. Indeed, worry about what is... Wait a second. Was the priest around during the founding of the city? He just talked about the machine purge. That happened back when the city was first founded by A-Corp. Huh. These guys are old. Worry about our lives thereafter, about how we will live on. Well, how will you live on? I do not know as of yet, however I suppose we should be able to lead a more joyous life than we do now. To live without our fates, bond to murder of fellow living beings. Wouldn't you agree that such a life would be a better one? You have finally returned to me, my Sancho. What joyous day this is, to have all my children by my side once again. I thought they could only have two children, but this dude seems to have 4. Have you said your greetings? You do not know how much we all long to see you again, Sancho. She is drenched in blood. What have they done to you?
그런 꼴로 계시는 겁니까?
Ah, this.
이거 말이니? 내 몸에
When I could no longer count the number of stakes that have broken my flesh, when the counting itself lost its meaning,
하늘의 빛이
I saw a light in the sky, and this melded into my body.
파고들.
A light in the sky. Could he be talking about a golden bow? Then there must be a lobotomy corp branch here, and the golden bow within resonated with his. Don Quixote slowly walks towards the man who spoke in a sedate voice. That is the Phantom of Ego. We should go after her now. We woke from our dumbfounded silence at the sudden turn of events and hurriedly followed her inside. More reading. This is... that really the same girl who embarrassed herself in a duel against a she-fixer? How is she killing so many blood fiends with such little effort? Ah, okay. To be fair, I'll probably make it very long simply by being bad at the game. Every time a blood bag or blood fiend approached anywhere near her, Don Quixote struck them down with a blinding blitz. Was she hiding her strengths? No, that doesn't seem right, but she's a blood fiend. How absurd. That creature who deceived us with the false name Don Quixote was a blood fiend all along, hiding and lurking, pretending to be human. That's enough. Don't you think that's too much? I could be much worse if I wanted to be, but I have enough sense to hold myself back in front of the executive manager. What the f*** did I just say? Manager. Otis did not hide her disgust. She looked towards Faust with that very same expression. The top brass of the company must have already been aware of this, obviously, of this blood fiend hiding in our ranks like a snake, biding her time for a chance to sink their teeth into us. Yeah, it does kind of make sense for most of the thing to be story. But those stories we saw earlier, she wasn't hiding it. She really believed that she was human, that her name was Don Quixote. According to those stories we saw earlier, everything she has told us up to this point was a lie. Everything we've known about her was a lie. How many humans do you think this blood fiend has killed in the past? I understand the duplicitous nature of the company, yes. However, the subject me and the executive manager to such a higher situation and to just let it happen is... Okay. She has killed lots and lots of people. And she's trying to play a card that would only work if she has never killed a person. We have never just let it happen. Fine, what now then? It seems that we're not here to eradicate La Manchaland because where I'm standing, it looks like we're only helping it come together. Don Quixote. That is not my name. That is the name of my father. Don Quixote's red eyes shimmer threateningly at Sinclair. The very same eyes I never wish to see again. Wait, that's his actual name? Crap. Sancho, you. I see. Not even you could change. Not even a little.
네,
No,
변하지
I
않았어.
haven't.
아무것도
Nothing changed.
똑바로 보세요.
Look at me.
당신의 로신한테
Your Roshanate has suppressed me for but a passing moment. I am still the same blood-sucking bloodfoon who cannot survive without bleeding others. Just as how your Lamanchlan regressed to nothing but a hunting ground for us to pry on humans. Yes,
그래.
it has.
내가
I was wrong.
사람은
People can't change.
우리는
We have
그
no
변화의
choice
대로
but to live shackled
방법이
onto the
없어.
path dictated by this disease.
사랑하는
My
나의
family, whom I love so much, I have tried to
나를
convince
계속
me to
설득하고
turn me to their side.
시켰지.
By the way, if you ever get confused on who to call Don Quixote after this, just call the real Don Quixote. Quixote if you want. Ah, okay.
나만
Yet I was too slow.
버린
I
것이지.
was the only one who didn't understand until it was too late. Nicola, Cambodia, DeLucani, is this their doing? Have they tortured you so?
그렇단다.
Yes, a shrine most fitting for such a pathetic lord. Wouldn't you say?
산초야.
Sancho,
너를
I
다시
thought my heart would well with joy and happiness upon laying my eyes upon you again.
이제 보니
Yet there is only sorrow.
너만큼은
I thought you at least would have explored the world outside in my stead, experiencing adventures even more wondrous than the ones I've had.
하지만
But this poor soul I see before me
나와
is no different from me nor my family. Just a blood-starved, red-eyed victim of this sickness. The space we're in, it's changing.
황금 가지가
His emotions must be affecting the golden bow.
영영
그러고 보니
Inside the body of that pallid well we encountered at the Great Lake was a golden bow, wasn't it?
그래.
Yeah, burrowed deep into its heart.
희생이란 생존.
A form of existence similar to parasitism.
그래서
So, what now?
관리자님.
Executive manager, while that man with the golden bow in his torso may have once been a powerful being in the past, he seems to have been severely weakened due to an unknown reason. Just say the word and I will.
헛소리.
Foolishness. He's not the problem here. It's her.
냄새가
She smells different. Ryoshu pointed her finger towards Don Quixote. Give me a heads up if you're going to ask us to fight her, Clock. I'd like to chance to burn a last cig before I go. I'm going to try talking to her first.
같이 가요, 단테.
I'm going with you, Dante.
이쪽으로 일단
Guys, this way. I slowly approached Don Quixote, who regarded me with her dark eyes. Her usual twinkle seems like a distant memory. Back off.
제2권 속에
You have brought me a second kindred here with an explicit purpose, so that I may punish the blood fiends who have committed such a sin against my father, so that I may end his suffering, meaningless existence.
하지만 저희는
But
전혀
we have no idea.
몰랐어요.
It's
의도가 아니라
our intention to... Yes, that was precisely our intention. Faust takes a step forward. Only I and Dante, who remained conscious during the events of the warp train, were aware of this. What did you say? This omission could not be helped. Faust is forbidden from being the first to share a sinner's past.
별, 다,
SPR. Speak.
과거를 숨겨
But it was just for Don Quixote. She hid Gregor's past and Claire's past. She didn't talk about either of them until they were ready to talk about it themselves, or we made to. I believe it is false equivalency to compare this to those cases, when it is evidence that this was a case of subterfuge. She was an enemy in our midst, which makes your comparison moot. Bloody hell, can't you see your reaction exactly why they didn't tell us? Messy. It's because we all care for so much for each other.
다들 그만하시고.
Please stop this. I fear that it may become rather untoward should we continue to spiral.
그래.
Yeah, Honglu's little sister here is watching us, guys. Don Quixote watched our bickering wordlessly, until the squabble amongst the sinners began to subside. The entire time they bickered, I racked my brain trying to come up with something, but I just hoped you'd understand and come back to our side to be one of us again. All I managed to express was a pathetic, naive hope that I'd been stewing in the back of my mind.
함께한다라.
Yeah. But to be fair, when you're surrounded by so many idiots, you kind of are forced to get used to it quite quickly. To be one of you.
너희는
But you do not know of our eons of suffering. You do not know of our battles, our struggles, our agony of victories. I don't suppose you ever will.
찬찬히
I will slowly look into each and every one of those torturous moments and recur my bruises memories. And with every moment it will rise to suffer once again. The wrath, the hatred, the loathing. Thus, I can no longer be one of you again. There was an L-Corp symbol within the wall. Why was there an L-Corp branch here? Huh. Can't play Don.
카니발 타임.
How glad I am to have you back, Sancho. With you by my side, this place shall be even happier. My family has finally found true happiness, because they have suffered far too long. They deserve this happiness more so than anyone. Be right back. I don't think my family put the bins out, and there's the garbage people here. Okay, I'm back. Ow. Oi! Penny! Penny! Quiet! No bark! Because they have... With your return to La Munchlin, we shall fill this place with even more laughter.
웃음이라.
Laughter, what a joke.
바람차는 소리를. 우린 니놈들을
We are here to exterminate your kind. We have been through so much together, have we not, Sancho? Let us show them what we have lived through to these ignorant outsiders.
당신은
We were foolhardy. Our foes were blood fiends who had grown to the size of giants. Those who had drunk so much human blood that it was boiling, overflowing out of their bodies.
우리는
They were formidable foes. Our battle were challenging.
그곳에서 당신
Even though you dreamed a hollow dream, nothing more.
허황된 꿈에
자, 그대들이여.
Hark, my dearest compatriots, art thou ready for this battle? We shall soon strike the battlefield with our full might. Speak if aught ails thee.
있습니다.
Aught ails me.
산초여.
Ahem, O Sancho, thou art recognized. Speak thy mind. Why are you talking like that?
장차 해결.
'Tis only right that a fixer to be must speak in a manner befitting of his stature.
그리고 이
And mine heart beats with such
산초.
volituation.
자네도 이
Whether
말씀을
I
써본 것이
speak in
어떠하니?
such a manner, O Sancho, prithee, why dost thou not speak as I? Because it's ridiculous, jovial.
하지만
Yet I cannot help but cherish that day when we ran across the green fields together, tasting the freedom.
혈기들의 기습
You were ambushed by blood fiends who broke your lance.
네가
Yes, a lance you had crafted me of your own blood.
상대를
It was a mistake. I underestimated my foes, a rather unfortunate yet unshakable habit of mine.
눈을 조심하라.
I remember telling you to be mindful of them. A powerful gust knocked me into the air before smiting me down into the grass.
곧바로 네
And you hurried to my side, didn't you? I remember your face, you breathing hasted from worry.
그 정도는
I wasn't that desperate.
내가
As I lay upon my back, gasping at the sky from the shock,
그 풍경에서
you appeared into the view.
네 지금
Perhaps it was that moment that led us to victory in that war.
덕분에
그 전부터 이길
You were already certain of your own victory even before the war began.
바뀔 수 있을
I must wonder if that was the moment I had begun to think that we could really change.
평생을
Watching you, who hated running all your life, grievously sprinting to my side,
우리 역시
I thought perhaps we were all changing little by little. Yet we failed, Sancho, and everything around us is a record, a testament to our failures.
마음껏
Look around as you will, Sancho, at our desolation.
뭐야?
Oh, she's still on our side.
화이팅이다.
Who are you you're attacking him.
고귀하게. 타! 으타! 더 먹어 치워라.
I am not doing well so far in this battle.
에이, 저것들 너덜너덜하잖아. 일단 정신 못 차리는 놈 대가리부터 뭉개.
Slash is most efficient, and I only have one slasher. How pitiful. And Bash is most efficient.
진지하게.
Okay. Yeah, I found it a bit weird that I couldn't access her, but it does kind of make sense considering she said she can't join us anymore.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 그대로 두드려 패.
내 죄는 내가 알아서 처리.
그래, 결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까. 잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고 저 새끼 죽은 다음만 생각해. 그럼 공격이 더 매서워지거든. 깡총.
추잡하네. 예쁘네. 네 피부에서.
씹는 맛이 있는데. 하나 눕혔네.
What the hell?
이렇게 눕혀가다 보면 어느새 끝나는 게 싸움인 법이지.
That is a weird ass spectacular. I mean, those are weird as well, but that one's hella weirder.
대갚아주마.
Why does it have such a long body?
아차!
Yeah, okay.
기대해라.
뭐야 그 파이팅이다.
These guys are weak to slash. And these guys are weak to bash. Who's she attacking? She is attacking a defensive. I'll have both pierces go up against that with support from you. You take that on, as well as Gregor. And you go up against that.
대가리 딱 떼도.
실밥이 터졌나?
에이, 저것들 너덜너덜하잖아. 일단 정신 못 차리는 놈 대가리부터 뭉개.
You're attacking Ryoshu. I'll just let Ryoshu deal with you. Heathcliff. You. That. And Gregor can assist.
대가리 딱 떼도.
그래, 결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까. 잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고 저 새끼 죽은 다음만 생각해. 그럼 공격이 더
skull
매서워지거든.
back and you and Heathcliff attack that. Rego will assist.
고귀하게. 탑.
그래, 결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까.
I'll kind of have to use Unforgivable Sin.
그리고 저 새끼
Actually, he's almost dead. Just auto.
죄인인가? 매서워지거든.
내 죄는 내가 알아서 처리한다. 대파.
Sancho walked into the maze that manifested before us as if to obey Don Quixote's word, to observe the desolation. So that blood fiend is the same person as a friend of yours who saved my life earlier. Yep, same person. Are you insane? Does anyone in this not register to you that seeing she's been saying this Don Quixote is no? But she's still the same person from where I'm standing. Hong Lu replies confidently. Or perhaps that was just how he usually talked. Even when we grew suspicious, even when we found ourselves at a crossroad, his voice would always carry that calm confidence, so much so that it almost seemed silly. But thinking back, he's been more right than wrong. And I hope that is the case again today. I try to put my faith in that hope. Damn it. Damn it all, cowards and milk scopes. All of you, if that creature suddenly turns violent against us like an unpredictable animal, she will... Otis. Yes? Otis straightened up and looked in my direction in her usual militaristic stiffness, but I could see the tinge veiling anxiety and mistrust seeping through her stoic expression. It was inevitable. Whatever the reason, I did not hide things from the sinners. And Otis is very sensitive to people withholding information, so it's no surprise she was disgruntled about this. However, because it is Otis I'm speaking to, we're going to follow Don Quixote. I mean Sancho. But that is... Sorry, let me finish. Yes, my apologies. I cannot know exactly what you're thinking. I can't read minds, you know, but I do know that you are unhappy about this. I should be able to explain everything to you in due time, so... I would like for you to trust and follow me through this path, which I believe is our way to victory. Otis' grievance probably runs deeper than what's already left her mouth. It wasn't just the omission of intelligence that bothered her. What she was really worried about was that omission compromising me, herself, and the operation itself. That's just the kind of sinner she is. And the solution must be to address that very thing, to tell her that everything is going according to plan. Remember how every mission we have done so far led to me resonating with the golden bow, and how that was the key to solving them? It won't be different this time. No, it won't be different this time for sure.
관리자님께서 그렇게 명하신다면
If that is your wish,
따르겠습니다.
then it is my command. Sorry about forcing you to come along,
전에 성패하는 관계
regardless of the outcome of this operation and regardless of the soundness of our reasoning. I, Otis, did not follow before the authority given to you by your rank.
제가 불안
My
요소가
decision to follow you was based on your efforts to understand and
그것을 설명하려 노력하는
explain the potential risk I have pointed out to you. That is why I come to your wisdom.
혹은
Or perhaps the memories of your past are subconsciously affecting your current behaviors. I don't remember a thing though.
저놈이나 관리
Don Quixote, executive manager. Amnesia has certainly made things difficult for many of us, hasn't it? There are so many ways to erase people's memories in the city after all.
그렇지.
Yeah, there are plenty of ways to remove people's memories, and that's just counting what's public.
가장
The most
보편적인
common method is moving someone's memories into a different object or perhaps
사람에게
or
옮기는 방법.
person. Someone part of the city even sells them as local products.
두 번째는
Another is to completely destroy the memories. It's cheap,
가장 저렴하지.
but because it comes with the risk of affecting other memories, only desperate backstreet dwellers use this method.
그리고
And now we know the final method, which has so far been unknown and remains unassailable even now.
감각의 강물.
The River of Oblivion, also known as Lessie.
이 강물을
Drinking the waters of this river allows one to bury their memories beyond the veil of their consciousness to the point where they become
가득하고
uncertain, hazy, and dim like the memories from a dream. So that's what you've been looking for, Shishin.
정확히는
Not exactly, it's a different stream somewhere near the River of Oblivion.
나는 그
I
강물을
suspect that the river I'm searching for has something to do with the immortality of the mind that our elders have been seeking so desperately. Ah, to be free from aging and death, right?
그래.
Yeah, that old tiresome thing. Maybe that's how my memories were removed. I don't even have a dreamy recollection of my memories. It's like they were unpruned straight from my head. So it's either been transformed to a different person or an object, or it's been totally destroyed, forever unsalvageable. Still, I have no clue as to who, how, or why anyone would do such a thing. Jishun briefly glanced at me as my clock ticked on before turning her attention back to Honglu.
내게는
That's why these scant trances of this Barry are so important to me.
그리고 자세히
I can't tell you in any greater detail, but I see them. I can see her ancient traces here.
오빠에게도 중요한
Come on. This is important to you too. If we want to survive as heirs, we have to find that thing that our elders seek, that immortal. Jishun stopped herself midway through her sentence. I see, so this is where we have to go. Our separate ways. Yeah.
벌써 가는 거야?
Leaving us already? The path diverges and we must each take the other trail. It's time to say goodbye.
오빠의 친구가
If your friends had really lost her memories from drinking the water of the River of Oblivion,
굉장히 혼란스러운
then she
상태일
has
것
to be
같아.
extremely disorientated, coming to terms with the realization that those hazy nightmares, visions were in fact her own memories, that they weren't just dreams, has to be. Yes, it will be sad and complex. After all, who is the dreamer? Is it myself, as I had existed in that dream, or myself who has awakened from it? Most likely. Actually, we may meet a lot more. We'll most likely meet a lot more of his family. Of course, all of them will probably want him dead. Well, whichever it may be, whether it is a butterfly or not, I guess it will flutter away once again. Thank you for letting me know, Shishun.
그래.
Yeah, I guess you haven't been spending your time chasing the clouds out here, brother.
오빠. 머지않은 시일에
I'll see you around. I have a feeling we'll be seeing each other again very soon.
생각이 들거든.
시춘이 그렇게
If you say so, Jishun, then it will be so.
수고로우니까
Don't bother saying goodbye, it's a waste of time. So I can just skip this story thing, but I won't. A just failure. Don Quixote,
그 이름은
a name that was once my salvation.
우리는 동족에게
Our own kind had disowned us. The humans considered us hideous.
인정하지.
I'll admit,
라만차린들을
we were all smiling and laughing when we began laying the foundation of La Munchland,
소량의 피와
because we truly believed in the delusion that we could subsist on smidgens of blood and some hemobars.
모두들 이것 좀
Gather around, or we finally have a prototype of that thing me and the barber have been working on for years. What is this, a brick?
응고시킨 혈액이야.
Coagulated blood.
우리들의 생존에
It
필요한
has
영양소.
every nutrient we need to survive. Tastes like pastel paste. Flavor is a luxury, Lady DeLucany. This is the best we could have done with the flavor.
인간들에게
As long as we can get a steady supply of a pastel amount of blood voluntarily given by humans, we can continue to mass produce these hemobars. Oh, how splendid. Why does he have pointy ears?
우리 라만차린드의 가족들에게
I plan to provide a steady supply of this item for our family here at La Munchland.
다들 기억.
Remember, as long as La Munchland survives, we'll be the pride and joy of all blood fiends, because we'll be the living proof that we need not kill, need not consume blood to coexist alongside humans, that we need not be the defined by our nature.
그리고 단언컨대
And I guarantee you will be getting plenty of guests around here. How can you be so certain?
바깥 세상도
Because the world outside was as dreary and austere as the world I'd been living in.
인간들도
I'm quite certain that deep inside every humans
그들을 즐겁게 해줄
are
무언가를
desperately waiting for something to bring joy into their lives.
그래서 내가
Which brings me to my subsequent point. What if I were to appear in person at the end of the parade? What say you?
그래야지 사람들이
That
더
would
많이
certainly get the crowd going with applause and cheers, don't you think? Of course, I will make you an outfit so dazzling that you may shine brighter than anyone else. I doubt you'll surpass my popularity. I am second to none when it comes to beauty, after all.
황금처럼
Of
찬란한
course
네가
not, Delucany. None shall claim greater beauty before you, who are as incandescent as gold, even still. If this meeting is about to develop into frivolry again, I will now take my leave. Yes, just as he had expected.
라만차린들은
La Munchland began teeming with human guests. We approach the faded signpost in the twisted space. Welcome to La Munchland. The types of tickets and their prices are written underneath that logo. Looks like we have to purchase a ticket here to enter. Which one should be purchased? Purchase the all-day pass. All allies lose HP, gain an ego gift. All allies gain ego gift. That gain blood. Purchase the standard pass. First turn start of an encounter, all units gain 4 bleed, potency, and count. We walk past the entrance and into La Munchland. Which area should we visit first in order to escape this maze-like amusement park? Began a combat encounter, when to gain an ego gift. Run a pride check, pass to gain an ego gift, or gain an ego gift. Head to the confessional. Maybe we can visit the confessional again. We don't do much there either earlier. We decide to head to the confessional as advertised by some of the sinners. Please come here should you wish to confess your sins and partake in a consultation. A voice echoed from inside the confessional. Maybe if we were to confess our sins, the path will open before us. Which sinner can bear their honest heart? Let's try her. The entity past the divider of the confessional expresses sorrow at Ryosho's confession. Your sins require heavy introspection. Discipline your sin with this whip, it will help. A thorny whip slides under the confessional divider. As we pick up the whip, the space around us warps as a new path opens. Self-flagellant whip earned. The art of was worth a closer inspection. We see a door to a giant containment chamber. We were going to have to get through that to escape this maze. There's an unfamiliar machine on the road to the chamber. It must be a raffle machine La Munchlin used during every periods. A little bit of blood for something very useful. There's an advertisement written in elaborate typography. Maybe we'll be able to find something very useful in there. Pay with blood to enter the raffle. A random sinner loses HP, randomly gain an ego gift, destroy the raffle. When a sinner pays with their blood, the raffle machine begins wildly. You get nothing. With a sad jingle, the machine comes to a slow thud. The change of pulling what we want is pretty low. So random friend took 20 damage. Yeah, it was just her. The advertisement text is lying to us, or maybe we just unlucky. What should we do? You get nothing. I'll do it one last time. You win, you win. A loud joy jingle and cube-shaped crystals made of blood roll out of the machine. It might be useful for something. When an ally dies, gain 1 ego resource for each of that ally skills. Skills after attack. If the enemy is killed, gain 1 random ego source once per skill. Okay.
몸을 풀어두죠.
Damn it. Teddy bear.
저거다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까.
Wait, what's our sanity like? 20, 10. Fuck. I'm gonna use a fill bullet. Oh. Dominating. Ah, damn it, that's an unbreakable. There's no real point in attacking it. I'll send Heathcliff after it. Yoshu. I'll get you to offside it. Here we go. Leg it if you want. My scattering bullets will turn your brain into fireworks no matter where you run.
화려하게 터뜨릴 테니.
Fun fact, my favorite gun is the M1 Grand.
두드려 패.
나도 하니까 닥쳐라.
아이씨, 좀 피하면서 하라니까. 야.
Oh yeah, gotta do that. Offset.
앞에서 시선 좀 끌어줘야겠어.
Anyway, I'll have dimensions shred a stat. Oh yeah, makes sense. AK-47 isn't the most accurate gun, but it's very reliable and sturdy. If it can break an AK, then any other gun is doomed. Unbreakable, but we should do damage to it. Sure.
죄인인가?
방금 좀 똑똑했다. 옛날에 조직에서 싸울 때도
Man, Gregor's low.
적을 다 밀어버리는 놈이 있었지.
Get.
눈을 떼지 마.
Do not avert your eyes, even for a moment, lest you be ensnared in an eternal wandering.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고.
I am going to have to use suffocating guilt. Who was that aiming at? Offset? I'm gonna aim... I need to aim towards someone who can take a hit. Actually... Ryoshu. Okay, yeah. We need that taken down, so Ryoshu's probably the best bet for that. I'll send Heathcliff last, concentrate fire.
잘라낸다.
Yeah, I just need to try healing Gregor a bit.
기대해라.
뭐야
And that is unbreakable.
파이팅이다.
That embraced aimed at Heathcliff. You know what, that's oddly fitting having it aimed at Heathcliff. Anyway, I need to heal up Gregor. Because he is way too low. There's a new Limbus trailer? Wait, Limbus. Let me quickly... Why did I open you? There's a new one? Oh yeah, the Walpurgis one, right? Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
떨거지는 잘라낸다.
동화는 읽어줄까?
How about I read you a tale? Yeah, okay, good, he's finally got a bit of health. That gave Heathcliff sanity. Huh.
그 뭐냐 거의 칼로 물베기 아니냐? 아니 베어지지 않는 정도는 아니긴 한데 그래 뭐 두드리다 보면 깨지겠지.
Okay, should have a lot of bladeds then.
파이팅이다.
After all, it makes sense for a event mostly focusing on guns can cause people to bleed. I'm gonna throw the heaviest attacks I can at it.
잘라낸다.
더날 뛰어보라고.
아차!
Yeah, okay. Maybe for once I'll actually pull on an ego banner then.
그대로 나가랴.
What is this? It's got an unbreakable, an old nostalgic embrace. Huh. I don't know why, but I don't really like the thing. I don't think that's good.
깡창.
지금이다. 해골 바가지 거미 대가리. 차!
I still love this Ryoshu id. It is my favorite id. Okay.
영원히 잠들어라.
Well, it kind of makes sense for her to get the magic bullet one, considering she has a id of magic bullet. Abnormalities here? Huh, yeah, here. How come there's a lobotomy logo inside La Mancheland? Perhaps. How many? Not be the appropriate time, for too much is still vain in my mysteries to utter with certainty. Oh, I tried to urge Yi-sung, who trailed off mid-explanation, to speak, but... Okay, let me know when you're more certain. I'm sure he has a good reason for not sharing his suspicions at the moment. I nodded. I shall. Okay then, let's get back on track and keep following Sancho. Abnormality or not, we still have a job to do. Our save team. I'll take it that's the boss. The great adventure.
괴로워하는 혈기들이 조금
More and more blood fiends are starting to suffer.
산초.
Sancho,
감히 어버이의
how rude of you to
신뢰에는
attempt to lecture our father.
좋지 않은데. 사실을 보고하는
I am
거야.
only notifying him of what I'm seeing out there.
아, 산초.
Oh, Sancho, I have been discussing with Delucani about the passing of the parade.
네 구역이
It
인기가
seems that
제일
your
많-
area is the most popular out of them all, Delucani.
당연하죠.
Of course, it is in nature of all things to be helplessly drawn to my beauty.
그러고 보면
I don't think
오늘도
I've
그
ever
마지막
seen the
나누는
two of you
걸
exchange more than 3 sentences with one another now that I think about it.
같은 제2권
You're both second kindred of mine, aren't you? Sisters.
네가 언니 할래?
Would you like to be the big sister, Sancho?
정말 싫은데.
Absolutely not. I detest this idea.
그럼
Then perhaps I would suggest a little sis.
먼저
I
물러나.
will now take my leave, O father.
그리고
Also,
저희가 제안드린
please consider our suggestion regarding that relic.
그래. 알겠어.
Yes, I will.
산초, 마침 잘
You
왔다.
come at the most appropriate hour, Sancho. Behold, for I have found us a relic yesterday.
아직도 모으고 계신
You're still
분이었으니까
searching for them.
포기하신 줄
I
알았습니다.
thought you had given up on the idea. The night of the white moon identified the last one, which you had gone through considerable lengths to obtain. Mid was but a forgery.
하지만 이번엔
Yet the merchant
진짜라고
claimed
했단다.
that this one was of genuine quality.
특히
Behold the hatch pattern here. It is identical to the depiction of the helm worn by the founding fixer of the Han Association.
여기 삽화에
Compare
있는
it
것도
next
이거구나.
to this illustration. Do you see the resemblance?
당하셨네요.
They duped you again. Damn it. All I had a feeling, damn it, that peddler to hell.
왜 자꾸
Why are you
그런
so
걸 보고
desperately seeking these trinkets?
유물의 힘 따위를
You are
빌리기에는
powerful enough without the crutches these relics provide.
유물이 가진 힘
It is
때문에
not
그러는 게
for
아니야.
their strengths that I seek them.
그 유물
What I
속에
truly
담겨 있던
seek is the
세계의
body
최초의
odor of the fixer who had once worn them. Their histories, the tales they had to tell. You look like you're looking at a nutcase.
다행입니다.
What a relief, at least your eyelids is in fine health.
안 되겠다.
This won't do. I would much
유물을 찾아오는 게 더
earlier
빠르겠다.
have those relics in my hands by going out there myself.
그런데 제 말은 들으신 겁니까?
That's all well and good, but did you hear what I had to report earlier
혈기들이
that blood fiends are suffering?
처음부터 순탄할
I did not
거라는
expect this
기대도 안
path we walk to be an easy paved
했어.
road.
그것만 하면
Yet we will overcome this together as long as we manage to acclimatize to this.
너도 잘 견디고
You
있다니.
seem to be doing quite well yourself for one.
그리고 산초야.
Oh, and Sancho, I have conceived an idea most ingenious.
무엇입니까?
What is it this time?
정말 엄청난
It is truly
생각이다.
ingenious this time, so I shall allow you to take a deep breath before I say anything. Are you ready? Yep.
나와.
Won't you set off on an adventure by my side?
상담 분위기는
How did the consultation go?
언제나 그렇듯이.
All are at peace, tranquil, as they always are.
그러고 보니
Speaking of which, did you take your daily dose of hemobars today? I did.
좋군요.
Very good.
아,
Uh,
어머니와
I heard though that the grapevine that you were preparing to embark on an adventure with her father.
말만 들어도
The sheer idea of it.
척이나.
I can hardly wait. Wait, no, it's nothing. You may leave me now.
무언가 숨기는
I wasn't so close to him that I could simply call over to him and ask him what he really meant by that pause, so I let him go.
그 익숙해질 순 없었어.
We could never get used to it.
그저 맛있는 음식.
The lack of blood. It's incomparable to having one's favorite food taken away from them.
행복과 연결되는
It deprived
모든
us of everything that made us happy.
괜찮아질 거라고 믿었다.
Drenched in misery, naively hanging on to the belief that everything was going to be okay. Slowly we grew deprived.
이후에
So that's
둘이서 라만차를
when the two of you left La Manche Land to go on an adventure. The Great Adventure. While the noble knight and his squire was on their most wonderful adventure, the rest of the family waited, chewing slowly on what subsided. They were availed. Though it is unclear whether all that awaits was worth it, a sarcastic, disembodied narration echoes from somewhere. Before the sinners, the substition that the family was eating Before the eat the hemo bar. It is flavorless. They gobbled down on the dry, flavorless food, but their hunger is not the kind to be sated by such supplements. Unable to bear the hollow feeling, they tried to eat more of the food, as though they were trying to convince themselves that gorging on the thing would free them from the starvation. Eat the hemo bar. Once again, they gobbled up the food. They ate and ate and ate until they could no longer stuff any more of it into their mouths. But oh, how unfortunate, they were still hungry. The family once again witlessly begins to set their table for the flavorless food. Eat 10 hemo bars. Warning, continuing to eat will result in gaining ego gifts with a downside. I'll stop eating. We wait for a while, refusing to eat that thing, the space around us wrapped and twisted before opening a path ahead. There's no time to rest, let's keep moving. A great adventure. The mass of brambles, its thorn shape stands in our way. The knight and the squire adventure together for a long time. They enjoy so many adventures together. Which one of them was the most interesting? The narration. Again? What should we say? Indeed, 'twas the adventure of the helm of remembering. Gain a gloom, gain a lost in gluttony, gain wrath. I'll get a gloom. Clueless about the helmet's true power. What other adventures awaits one most wondrous? How unfortunate there were no more adventures waiting for them. It was time for the knight and the squire to return home. To home where the family had been enduring and waiting for their return. If you would like to know what comes to pass thereafter, please make your way through the brambles. Ryoshi can do it. I have faith in her. My face was put in the wrong place. Ryoshi walked into the brambles trying to cut open a path for the rest of us. Try as they might, however, the brambles were simply too thick to cross without bloodshed. Every sinner was riddled with thorns by the time we made it through the brambles. 25 HP. 15 SP, all sinners gain 4 rupture and 4 rupture count at the next combat start. Damn it. A little dream earned.
환상체 도감은 읽고 지시를 내린 건가 관리자.
I can't believe. And the Great Adventure.
닥쳐라 해파. 누굴 팰진 내가
You want up on the bed, girl? Here you go. 1, 2, 3.
뭐야 화이팅이다.
Okay. Does he have Unbreakable? Yes, he does. He has 1 Unbreakable so far. Wait, I'll use that. Then Chain of Loyalty. No way in hell am I threatening that guy. Neutral, struggling. Neutral. Struggling. Struggling. Struggling.
포기하게.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 저보다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는
The
놈들이니까.
Rose Hunter over his head. Ah, crap. Thorn, Heathcliff, you can take that thing on. Aiming at Gregor. I believe he can do it. I'm literally doomed against this guy.
예사롭지가 않은데? 아주 작살을 내놨어.
감내해야 할 고통.
The lasso is aiming straight for us. The lasso, powered on by the hunter's movement, flies right at us. The barb lasso struck Ryoshu hard. Watch the sinner's rising in pain seems to have invigorated the Rose Hunter. Damage equivalent to 50% of their max HP. The Rose Hunter gains 3 offset. You've got to be kidding me.
읽고 지시를 내린
아이씨,
건가?
좀 피하면 사라니까. 야, 저거 정신 차릴 때까지
I am
좀 끌어줘야겠어.
going to have to use some egos. And I'm going to use Fell Bullet. Can't use her ego on second thought.
대가리 딱 떼도.
Not one coin.
피로부터 피어오는 아름다운 꽃이 나는 기꺼이 그대를 취하리라.
어? 방금 좀 똑똑했다. 옛날에 조직에서 싸울 때도 두뇌 파로 적을 다 밀어버리는 놈이 있었지.
눈을 떼지 마라. 한순간이라도 놓친다면 영원히 방황할 테니.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 그 두드려 패.
I'm gonna lose.
아이씨, 좀 피하면서 하라니까. 야, 저거 정신 차릴 때까지 앞에서 시선 좀 끌어줘야겠어.
Yeah,
명령에 따를게요. 효율적이라면.
Isn't looking good.
뭐야
Aimed at Gregor.
파이팅이다.
Neutral. Neutral. I just have to send you there. You kinda just have to.
깡총.
업.
아이씨 좀 피하면서 하라니까. 야 저거 정신 차릴 때까지 앞에서 시선 좀 끌어줘야겠어.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna lose this fight. There's literally nothing I can do to win.
떨거지는 잘라낸다.
되갚았습니다.
예사롭지가 않은데? 아주 작살을 내놨어.
I'll fight till the last person dies on this.
나고 하니까 닥쳐라.
Yeah, you have a shot. Yes. With line fast reflex treasure deflects the barb lasso to the side. The lasso deflects flies in the other direction. The rose hunter hesitates, surprised by the turn of events.
이런 건 이발사나
아이씨
신부에게
좀
시켜.
피하면서
And she
하라니까.
corroded.
야 저거 정신 차릴 때까지 앞에서 시선
Sure,
좀
should attack that, but
끌어줘야겠어.
she's gonna attack Ryo. That's decent turn of events. Yep.
고귀하게.
I'm most likely gonna lose this fight though. So once the stream ends, I'm literally just gonna have to grind up a bunch of shred spins to try to level up to shred spin everyone on the team. And then come back to it probably. Time to serve as nutrients.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 그대로 두드려 패.
This isn't looking good at all. Not in the slightest. Yeah, Ryoshi's gonna die, and there's nothing I can do to stop it.
나고 하니까 닥쳐라.
똑똑했다. 옛날에 조직에서 싸울 때도 두뇌파로 적을 다 밀어버리는 놈이 있었지. 아이씨, 좀 피하면서 하라니까. 야, 저거 정신 차릴 때까지
Dimension Shredder.
손 좀 끌어줘야겠어.
Teddy bear. Aid.
떨거지는 잘라낸다.
You've got to be kidding me.
자, 테디, 나를 따라해 보는 거야. 짜잔.
혼자서 뭘 어떻게 한 거야?
감내야 할 고통.
이건
My characters aren't leveled up properly.
놈들이 감기고
My characters are literally the bare minimum.
이거 완전 조졌는데. 계속 해봐야 시계 돌릴 때 더 아프기만 하고 좋을 게 없을 것 같은데.
He's weak to slash. I've already restarted a bunch. I've accepted my fate to lose this battle. There's literally no way I can win it. I'm literally just gonna have to lose it, probably end the stream and grind for a few days to get a bunch of shred spins to level them all up. As well as I'm just having horrible luck.
이거 완전 조졌는데. 계속 해봐야 시계 돌릴 때 더 아프기만 하고 좋을 게 없을 것 같은데.
Didn't realize that. Anyway, unfortunately I'm gonna have to end the stream here because I'm gonna have to do a lot of grinding off camera because my sinners are nowhere near a point where they can actually beat this. Let me grab that. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to end the stream here, unfortunately. Okay. I'll bring the trailer up. Wait, I've got to change audio application. I'm really considering just changing it so that way the recording software captures all audio. It's really annoying having to switch it every 20 seconds.
탄 일발 장전. 탄환은
Lock and load, bullet
로지가
type,
트리에제 고속
AC
분쇄.
logistic made vertical precision. Right,
저녁만 천이 끝나고 적 교주가 신도들에게 연설을 시작할
oh,
때
an office that uses mostly guns.
그때가 최적의 타이밍이야. 딱 한 발이면 돼. 한 점만 노린다.
Weird, a ponytail oddly suits Gregor. I mean, no, not Gregor, Heathcliff. I think
총은
that was.
수지 타산에 맞게 한 발에 한 놈씩. 한 점만 노린다.
자, 사격 중지. 앞쪽 시야가 확보되는 대로 적들을 추적할게요. 머리는 사람이 시시하게 죽어나가는 걸 원하지 않을 거예요. 하지만 시시한 죽음이란 뭘까요? 죽음에 많은 의미를 부여해도 결국 죽는 건 변치 않을 텐데.
I'm pretty sure that's just all new IDs nowadays. They all have to have at minimum 3 pages or something.
보호 수단에서 사용한 탄환값을 빼면 오늘은 제사비로 손해를 메울 필요가 없네요.
제 이름은 알죠? 넷자우예요. 안전하지 않은 안전팀의 세필하죠. 이번 의뢰는 간단해. 그냥 녹화된 영상을 보면서 멘트만 치는 것 같군.
뭐 좋네. 총알값도 아끼고.
그래, 가끔은 온건한 일도 해야지.
역시 니놈 말대로 어떤 사람이라도 맞출 수 있는 마법의 탄환.
I just want to say, I just want to say, in the Lobotomy Corp game, I hate the magic bullet guy, because he single-handedly killed everyone in the safety team. On my first day of having safety team, he wiped them.
여기까지 쏜 이상 돌아갈 수 없는 당화살이 담겨 도착할 곳이 지옥뿐이라 해. 낭망한 마음은 검게 타올라 사라지지도 않는다. 그저 시리도록 범람할 뿐. 다른 것이 절망이었다 해도 탄환이 향할 곳은 정해져 있지. 쏘아진 것은 어떤 사람이라도 맞출 수 있는 마법의 탄환이었지. 정의도 아무도 없이 그저 내키는 대로 쏘아댈 뿐. 마침내 나는 이 지옥에 홀로 남긴다. 내겐 나아갈 의지가 없다 해도 다른 앞으로 나아간다. 영원히.
지원한다. 간다, 동료.
여긴 맡겨주세요.
완벽한 한가람.
I must say, while Purgus Knight's looking like a pretty interesting thing, also most of that's what my recommended kind of look just looks like. A lot of Create, 40k, and the Frog. So yeah. Drop that. Thank you all for coming to my stream. Instead of a Limbus Company stream tomorrow, until I have managed to grind it up enough resources to be able to actually do the final dungeon for this conto, till I can actually do that, I'm just gonna be thanks. Until I'm able to fight this dungeon, I'm going to be streaming Library Arena instead of Limbus. So until I actually can do this, I think I can do a paid. No, I can't. Yeah. I'll do a paid pull on this guy real quick. And I got nothing. An ego shard for him. Do I even have... How many ego shards do I even have for Heathcliff? I have 32. Huh. That is not a good amount. Anyway, see us next time. Where... damn it, I moved it.